Hey everyone, and welcome to the next Star Wars Month 2026 video. Before we get started though, I just want to point something out. If you can hear any background noise, then I apologize. I've got my fan on in here because it has been really warm these last few days. It was so hot yesterday, and it is still quite warm today, but so I just want to have that on. So I apologize if you can hear any background noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but just letting you know. Anyway, for today's Star Wars Month video, I'm going to be discussing another Star Wars video game. One that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and when they do talk about it, they're not really that keen on it, but I just want to give you my thoughts. Today, I'm going to be talking about Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. Now then, as you can see, this is based on the Clone Wars TV show. And as you can see, I have the PS3 version. I actually originally had the Xbox 360 version, but I don't have my Xbox 360 anymore, so that is gone. I actually got it along with Batman Arkham City, I remember, when I was a kid. And I think I played this game more than I did the Batman game, I think. I'm not sure entirely. But anyway, let's get the back of the box. Live the Clone Wars and play as your favorite Jedi and clone trooper in a brand new story. Intense Jedi combat. Leap and slice your way through enemy lines with the acrobatic power of a Jedi. Frantic clone blasting. Wield an impressive arsenal of weapons, from rocket launchers to thermal detonators. Join forces. Fight alongside a friend on any mission at any time with drop-in, drop-out co-op gameplay. And a few playable characters you can actually see on the box itself. We've got Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we've got the clone troopers Captain Rex and Commander Cody. And on the back, we have the likes of Mace Windu, Aayla Secura, and Ahsoka Tano, and we have a new clone introduced called Sergeant Kano. We'll get more into that later. But for now, the story is, it's a typical Clone Wars affair. The Republic and the Separatists are battling out in the Clone Wars on many different fronts. We actually start with Anakin and Ahsoka on the planet Ryloth. But eventually, we do see other characters as well in other different scenarios. Like, for example, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Plo Koon on the space station Juma 9. And then we see Luminara Unduli and Aayla Secura on Alzok 3. And then we head to the planet Bapor as well. So there's 4 different sections across the many levels. And it starts like your typical Clone Wars affair. Like, the Separatists are trying to take over the planet, and the Republic obviously have to stop them. But then it escalates when we get introduced to a brand new character called Kul Teska, who is a Skakoan Techno-Union agent who is working in Count Dooku's employ. The Jedi don't know what he's planning at this point, but we know he's dangerous. And we do actually have a few fights against Teska. We have 3 fights throughout the whole of the game. First with Obi-Wan and Plo, then with the last 2 times with Anakin and Ahsoka, and then with Captain Rex and Sergeant Boomer as well in the same fight, in the second fight. We also see the likes of Count Dooku and Asajj Ventress around the place. They have some sort of sinister plan going on, and we even see Cad Bane as well, which is really cool because I honestly I think that was my first proper. I think this game was my first proper introduction to Cad Bane. Like, I'd heard of him, I'd seen like pictures of him, but I'd never actually seen him in any Star Wars media. Like, I saw him in the game before I actually saw him in the Clone Wars TV show. And nowadays, Cad Bane is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. And eventually, it is revealed that Teska has been developing some sort of polarization beam, which he wants to use to basically collapse the Naboo sun. Basically, just destroy the Naboo sun. Like, does he want? He doesn't really explain why he actually wants to destroy the sun. Maybe does he want like a test run for his weapon, or he wants to do it for a good payday, or he wants to basically destroy the whole planet. I don't know. I don't know if they ever really explain why he actually wants to destroy the Naboo sun, but obviously that's bad, and the Republic then set out to stop him by heading to the planet Bapor. And eventually the Jedi do manage to defeat Teska and escape with their lives. So all in all, not the best story, I don't think. It's not the best Star Wars story I've ever seen, mainly because they don't really explain why Teska is doing what he is doing, other than that he is a part of the Separatists. In terms of gameplay, we have the Jedi gameplay, which is like lightsaber swinging, force pushes, and also the acrobatic movements as well, like wall jumping and jumping from stuff to stuff. I will say the jumping is a bit iffy, because you don't really jump that far. As you jump, you kind of lose a bit of momentum that you had, and it's even worse when you double jump. So the jumping, it isn't really the best. And you are supposed to land on small platforms easily as a Jedi, but I found myself falling off quite a few times, which is like really annoying. But the lightsaber swinging is pretty good. You can build up a combo to increase your attack power. You can use the Force to stun your enemies, or you can hold for a bigger blast, which can force your opponents off the edge. And if you want, you can actually jump on different droids' heads, and you can slice into them, and you can also control them as well. Like, you can start firing the super battle droids around. You can fire the dwarf spider droids' lasers. You can plant mines with the chameleon droid. All sorts. So basically, the only enemies you fight in the game are droids, separatist droids. We've got battle droids, super battle droids, dwarf spider droids, destroyer droids, crab droids, chameleon droids, sabotage droids, and Magna Guards. Also with a few mini-bosses against Octoptera droids and a Vulture droid, which are like little mini-bosses, I guess you could say. You don't only play as Jedi, though. You also play as clone troopers. And that's mainly just, like, crouching behind cover and firing your blasters at the droids. You can get up close and, like, strike them, which is pretty cool. And you get the main ones, like, of course, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, along with Commander Pons and Gree and Bly. But we also get some new characters who I believe were introduced in this game, including the likes of Sergeant Kano, Sergeant Boomer, and Private Switch. Honestly, I don't know which gameplay style I prefer, because they're both really good. But a bit 50-50 there. In terms of boss fights, there are only 3 main boss fights in the game. I say 3, there's actually 5, but 3 with the same character. I mentioned, of course, Cole Teska, the main villain of the game, had 3 fights. The only other 2 characters that you actually have a boss fight with in the game are Asajj Ventress and Count Dooku, which would basically act as like lightsaber duels. And so basically the game, it's okay. It's just okay. And like the game says, yes, you can play 2-player. And there's also different challenges you can find to gain points to spend in the shop to get some masks or cheats or different kind of looks, that sort of thing, and different abilities. You can spend all that in the shop. There's also STAP gameplay where you can fly around on the droid speeders and shoot lasers. That's quite fun. But all in all, it's just okay. It's just okay. And one other thing, you can also like do free play with any levels that you finish. You can play with any of the characters. Like, for example, you could have Kit Fisto and Luminara Unduli, or Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker. But if you do that, then the cutscenes will be disabled, which is kind of annoying. I suppose it makes sense, considering that you're playing as different characters, but, you know, it's not like the LEGO games where free play helps you find more secrets. It's just, you know what I mean. So, would I recommend Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes? No, not really. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but if you are a massive Clone Wars fan, then by all means pick it up. It's not the best game. It's not the best Star Wars game I've ever played, but it's not the worst either. It's just alright. And if you want to pick it up, then by all means, you do what you want to do. Let me know in the comments what you think of Republic Heroes. Have you played any of the other Clone Wars games that have come out, like Lightsaber Duels or LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars? So let me know if you've played this or any of the others, and let me know your thoughts. What's your favourite Star Wars Clone Wars game? What's your favourite Star Wars game in general? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.